One of the most famous stars in Hollywood history is dead at 36. Marilyn Monroe was found dead in bed under circumstances that were in tragic contrast to her glamorous career as a comic talent.
Would you be surprised if you discovered that your favorite legendary actor was gay? In fact, there are many who are gay, and you will find out when you watch this video. Behind the lights, camera, and actions lies a reality of many Hollywood Golden Age actors that is far removed from the dazzling appearance. One of such aspect is the private struggle with being gay. Join us as we uncover the truth behind the facade and explore the multifaceted identities of our favorite Hollywood Golden Age stars who are secretly gay. 10. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe, famous for her beauty and allure, struggled with deep personal doubts. Despite her relationships with famous men like Joe DiMaggio, Arthur Miller, and others, Monroe also had romantic feelings for women and feared she might be gay. Marilyn Monroe's inner conflict. How could she be seen as the ultimate symbol of heterosexual desire, while also being attracted to women? These doubts haunted Monroe, especially since she couldn't have children and felt insecure about herself internally despite her external beauty. She was more than just a pretty face. She was a trailblazer for women. Despite being labeled as a dumb blonde, Monroe took control of her life, becoming a successful actress and even starting her own production company. Additionally, Monroe bravely spoke out about the abuse she suffered as a child, though it often goes unrecognized. Could her abuse be the reason why she is not heterosexual? Marilyn Monroe was born in Los Angeles on June 1, 1926, as Norma Jean Mortensen to an impoverished Gladys Pearl Baker. Her mother was mentally unstable and often took ill, yet provided her daughter with a stable and happy childhood. Marilyn was put under foster care. She was sexually abused, which led her to become a nervous, withdrawn girl. But that didn't stop her from being confident and standing up for herself as she grew older. Before she died, she starred in 30 films, recorded 50 songs, and took on various modeling assignments, leaving behind a lasting legacy in the entertainment industry. Unfortunately, the pain she experienced skewed her relationships, resulting in her being divorced 3 times. Marilyn Monroe was subject to rumors about her alleged affair with President John F. Kennedy. Her image as a flirtatious and sensual heterosexual sex symbol made it challenging for her to openly explore her sexuality, fearing it could tarnish her public image. Speculation arose about her relationship with her acting coach, Natasha Lytess, who was openly lesbian. Monroe's insistence on Lytess accompanying her fueled rumors of possible romantic involvement. Additionally, stories circulated about Monroe trying on clothes in Joan Crawford's bedroom, and her close relationship with Barbara Stanwyck led some to label her as a lipstick lesbian within the gay community. Marilyn Monroe once mentioned a man's comment suggesting she might be a lesbian due to her apparent lack of response to men, but she didn't refute it because she was unsure of her own feelings. 9. Richard Pryor. Richard Franklin. Lennox Thomas Pryor Sr. was a renowned American stand-up comedian and actor. He captivated audiences with his sharp wit, insightful observations, and captivating storytelling, establishing himself as one of the most influential and revered figures in the realm of stand-up comedy. His ability to connect with audiences from all walks of life and his fearless approach to tackling social issues through humor cemented his legacy as one of the greatest and most significant comedians of all time. When Richard Pryor died in 2005, nothing prepared us for the revelations that would come out 9 years after. In 2014, the biographical work Becoming Richard Pryor by Scott Saul asserted that Pryor had acknowledged that Richard was bisexual. It seemed untrue until 2018 when both Quincy Jones and Pryor's widow, Jennifer Lee, confirmed it. They disclosed that Pryor had engaged in a sexual relationship with actor Marlon Brando. The notion of Richard Pryor being gay appeared incongruous and unexpected to fans, primarily due to his extensive history of heterosexual relationships, including 7 marriages to 5 different women. Throughout his life, Pryor's romantic entanglements and publicized marriages to high-profile women contributed to the perception of him as a heterosexual man. Ultimately, Richard Pryor kept his sexuality secret, but, at the same time, subtly gave the world hints here and there. In all, it is essential to recognize that sexuality is fluid, and individuals' experiences and identities may defy simple categorization or expectations. Pryor's legacy as a groundbreaking comedian and cultural icon transcends any singular aspect of his personal life, and his impact on comedy and popular culture remains profound and enduring. 8. Spencer Tracy. In an era where societal norms rigidly dictated what people's sexuality should be, Spencer Tracy grappled with being gay. Many folks out here hail Spencer Tracy as the ultimate film star of the 20th century, and some even go as far as calling him the absolute best actor of all time. And, of course, Spencer Tracy's career trajectory was nothing short of remarkable. Spencer Bonaventure Tracy was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on April 5, 1900. Since he was a little child, Spencer has always had an interest in movies. But it wasn't an easy path to delve into because he developed into a difficult and hyperactive child. When he wasn't being a naughty child, he spent his time rewatching movies and recreating them with his friends. While in college, his childhood passion for acting was still active in his heart, and he made his first stage debut in June 1921, playing the male lead in The Truth. His performance was so great that he was widely acknowledged, and that was just enough affirmation for Spencer to keep driving harder into movies. And finally, after taking on different roles, his breakthrough moment came. His breakthrough came in the 1930s, when he signed with MGM and starred in a string of successful films, including Captain's Courageous, 1937, for which he won his first Academy Award for Best Actor. That was the beginning of greater things for Spencer. Among the luminaries of Hollywood's golden era, Spencer Tracy stands out as the inaugural actor to clinch 2 successive Academy Awards for Best Actor out of 9 nominations. Also, over his illustrious career, he graced the screen in 75 productions, earning acclaim as one of the industry's preeminent talents. In 1999, the American Film Institute bestowed upon Tracy the honor of being ranked as the 9th greatest male star of classic Hollywood cinema. Despite his private struggles, he continued to entertain audiences with his performances. Spencer Tracy was a married man so far as the world knew. He was married to a woman, Lois Treadwell, whom he later divorced. But the world was taken back in 2012 when they realized that the union was just a sham for Spencer Tracy, who had always been low-key, a gay man. This revelation was released by Scotty Bowers in his book Full Service. In his book, he revealed that Spencer was a gay man and he had arranged for male sexual partners for Spencer Tracy and had sex with him as well. 7. Sal Mineo. Salvatore Mineo Jr., popularly known as Sal Mineo, was a distinguished American actor whose talent and charisma captivated audiences during the golden age of Hollywood. He rose to fame with his memorable portrayal of John Plato Crawford in the iconic drama film Rebel Without a Cause in 1955. Sal Mineo garnered widespread acclaim and a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor at the remarkable age of 17, solidifying his status as a rising star in the industry. While Sal Mineo's breakthrough role as John Plato Crawford in the seminal film Rebel Without a Cause catapulted him to fame, it was his openness about his bisexuality that set him apart from many of his contemporaries. Despite coming into his sexuality later in life, Sal Mineo's authenticity and courage in embracing his identity served as a beacon of hope and inspiration for many struggling with similar conflicts. Yet, the pressures of concealing his true self took a toll on his personal life, ultimately overshadowing his professional achievements. As Sal Mineo transitioned from the image of the teen heartthrob to a more mature actor, he encountered obstacles in his career trajectory. The industry's reluctance to cast openly queer actors in leading roles, coupled with the pervasive rumors surrounding his sexuality, led to a decline in film opportunities. This unfortunate reality sheds light on the biases and discrimination prevalent within the entertainment industry during the Golden Age era. Undeterred by the challenges he faced, Sal Mineo found solace and renewed purpose in the theater. Returning to the stage, he seized the opportunity to direct and perform in plays that courageously explored queer themes, defying societal taboos and increasing the voice for marginalized gay. In 1976, Mineo's career took a promising turn with his portrayal of a bisexual burglar in the comedy P.S. Your Cat is Dead. The positive reception and acclaim garnered by his performance hinted at a resurgence in his career trajectory, signaling a shift in attitudes towards queer actors in mainstream media. Before he made history by becoming one of the first ever openly gay or bi celebrities in Hollywood, his personal life was marked by both love and heartbreak. At first, he had an enduring relationship with actress Jill Hayworth, and the relationship seemed poised for lifelong commitment until she caught Sal having an affair with singer Bobby Sherman. That shattered their engagement. Mineo and Hayworth maintained a deep friendship despite the upheaval and never got back together. In a candid 1972 interview with Bose Hadley, Sal Mineo bravely broached the topic of his bisexuality, offering rare insight into his innermost struggles and identity. But in another interview, Sal Mineo brazenly talked about how he didn't want to be confined to loving only women or only men. At the time of his untimely passing, Mineo found solace and companionship in a 6-year relationship with fellow actor Courtney Burr III. 6. Cesar Romero. Cesar Romero was the dashing Cuban-American actor whose charm and stature made him a well-known leading Hollywood man. He is a man of impeccable looks and great talent, gracing the screens like Marlene Dietrich and Carole Lombard. Cesar Romero was born to Cuban parents in New York City in February 1907. He attended the Collegiate School and Riverdale Country School before pursuing a career as a ballroom dancer. His debut on Broadway came in the 1927 production of Lady Do, followed by his appearance in the stage production of Strictly Dishonorable. Many remember him fondly for his iconic portrayal of the Joker in the original Batman film of 1966. There's a side to Romero that few knew. Cesar Romero's first on-screen role came in 1934's comedy detective hit The Thin Man, in which he played a Latin gigolo. In 1935, he secured his first lead role opposite Marlene Dietrich in The Devil is a Woman. Romero's career as a leading man was short-lived. Fans and critics agreed that Romero was a major talent, proving himself versatile in a career spanning nearly 60 years as an actor, dancer, and comedian. Behind the scenes, among his friends and colleagues in the industry, Cesar Romero lived openly and authentically, embracing his true self and never shying away from his sexuality. But there's more to his story. Beyond his on-screen proficiency, Cesar Romero was known to have shared a relationship with none other than the legendary actress Joan Crawford. He was often seen accompanying actresses like Linda Darnell, Barbara Stanwyck, Lucille Ball, Ann Sheridan, Jane Wyman, Agnes Moorehead, and Ginger Rogers at Hollywood events. While they were an enviable couple, and while men envied the relationship that Caesar had with Joan, they were bits of his life that he kept in secret. Cesar Romero chose to remain single throughout his life and did not have any children. Despite his openness in private circles, Romero chose to keep his sexuality under wraps throughout his entire career. Speculation surrounding Romero's private life, particularly his sexuality, has been a topic of interest among Hollywood historians and biographers. In 1996, Bose Hadley published Hollywood Gaze, claiming to have interviewed Romero about his sexuality and confirmed that he was gay. While some question the authenticity of these interviews, others consider them credible. Looking back at his performance in the Joker movie, it is believed that he brought the Joker to the screen with an appropriate dash of drag queen panache. He probably might not have showcased the King of Clowns properly without the drag queen undertone that a gay man would have infused. 5. Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson was best described as an actor with an aura of timeless charm and a commanding presence. He epitomized the essence of a true movie star and matinee idol. Standing tall at an impressive 6 feet 4 inches, he possessed the allure of a modern-day Adonis, captivating audiences with his striking features and magnetic charisma. He was devastatingly handsome. He had a gleam in his eye and a winning quality that set him apart, radiating that indefinable quality that distinguishes a true star. His handsomeness was one that had an undeniable charm and charismatic appeal that convincingly wooed leading ladies such as Day, Jane Wyman, and Elizabeth Taylor on the silver screen. But to the amazement of all, this paragon of masculinity was a gay man. Hudson soared to stardom with his captivating performances in iconic films such as Magnificent Obsession, 1954, All That Heaven Allows, 1955, and Giant, 1956, earning him accolades including an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. His chemistry with Doris Day in romantic comedies like Pillow Talk, 1959, Lover Come Back, 1961, and Send Me No Flowers, 1964, further solidified his status as a beloved leading man. Transitioning to television in the late 1960s, Hudson found success with the hit series Macmillan and Wife, 1971 to 1977, after expressing dissatisfaction with film scripts. His final acting role was as a guest star on the popular primetime soap opera Dynasty, 1984 to 1985, cut short due to an AIDS-related illness that ultimately claimed his life on October 2nd, at the age of 59. While Hudson kept his sexual orientation private, it was widely known within the film industry that he was gay. His courageous decision to publicly disclose his AIDS diagnosis in 1985 marked a pivotal moment in celebrity advocacy for AIDS awareness and research. Hudson's legacy endures as one of the first major American celebrities to succumb to the illness, sparking greater public awareness and understanding of HIV/AIDS. Rock Hudson's story was one filled with pain from childhood. Hudson's upbringing was marked by hardship, with his biological father leaving the family and his stepfather subjecting him to abuse. That abuse could have changed his sexual orientation. Despite the challenges he faced, filmmaker Stephen Kijak aimed to confront the topic of Hudson's sexuality with openness and honesty, steering clear of secrecy and stigma. Stephen Kijak's new HBO documentary delves into the complex life of actor Rock Hudson, portraying him not only as a symbol of the glamour and allure of the 1950s and 1960s, but also as a gay man whose battle with AIDS altered public perceptions of the disease. 4. Ramon Novarro. Ramon Novarro is chiefly remembered for portraying the title character in the monumental silent film Ben-Hur, and for the tragic circumstances surrounding his death on Halloween Eve in 1968. Born as Ramon Samaniego in Durango, Mexico, on February 6, 1899, Novarro's early life was marked by upheaval due to the Mexican Revolution of the 1910s. Seeking refuge and opportunity, he eventually traveled to Los Angeles, California. Here he embarked on his journey in the film industry, initially finding work as an extra in various Hollywood productions. Novarro's breakthrough moment arrived when he caught the attention of Rex Ingram, a highly esteemed filmmaker of the silent era. Ingram saw potential in Novarro and cast him in the pivotal role of Rupert of Hentzau in Metro Pictures' 1922 adaptation of The Prisoner of Zenda. This opportunity propelled Novarro into the spotlight, offering him a chance to showcase his talent and charisma on the silver screen. Having previously played a significant role in launching Rudolph Valentino's career, Ingram recognized Novarro's potential as a leading man. Following a falling out with Valentino, Ingram sought a replacement for the Italian actor and found his choice in Novarro. Under Ingram's guidance and mentorship, Novarro was renamed and groomed for stardom, setting the stage for his illustrious career in the film industry. Ramon Novarro's personal life, as portrayed in Beyond Paradise, was fraught with challenges. Firstly, his dreams of a career in opera were shattered, adding to his frustration. Moreover, he faced disillusionment after discovering that his trusted secretary, Louis Samuel, had left him nearly destitute. As compensation, Novarro was given what would later become the renowned Samuel Novarro House in the Los Feliz Hills, designed by Lloyd Wright. Compounding his struggles was Novarro's sexual orientation, which he grappled with in a society where homosexuality was condemned and illegal. Despite this, he navigated a delicate balance between his devout Catholic faith and his identity as a gay man. He attended gatherings hosted by openly gay director F.W. Murnau and refrained from entering into sham marriages or relationships for appearance's sake. Instead, he partnered with Hollywood columnist Herbert Howe, who also served as his unofficial publicist during their time together. However, their split was accompanied by a scathing article penned by Howe, a rare occurrence for that era. Over time, Novarro became increasingly torn between his religious convictions and innate desires. In his later years, Novarro's struggles manifested in several near-fatal drunk driving incidents and a reliance on the company of young men for hire, highlighting his internal turmoil and search for solace. Tragically, his life ended in a sensational manner on Halloween Eve, 1968. Following a high-profile trial, two young men, Paul and Tom Ferguson, were convicted of torturing and killing Novarro at his Hollywood Hills residence. In subsequent interviews, both brothers denied claims of torture, with Paul attributing his anti-gay bias as the reason why he was engaged in the killing of Roman Novarro. 3. Cary Grant. In his early films, Cary Grant seemed a bit shy, but he soon became known for his charming and witty personality on screen. Many people consider him one of the most handsome men in movie history, and he was seen as a charming and approachable sex symbol. His distinctive way of speaking, which he tried to change from his Cockney accent, became famous and was often copied. He starred in many classic films, which helped him become a big success in the movies. Cary Grant initially appeared in a series of short films and low-budget features for Paramount Studios. However, he gained significant attention for his portrayal of a wealthy playboy in the Marlene Dietrich film Blonde Venus, 1932. The following year marked his rise to stardom when Mae West selected him as her leading man in two highly successful films, She Done Him Wrong and I'm No Angel, both released in 1933. Cary Grant's screen career began in the early 30s and lasted into the 1960s, starring in movies like the romantic comedy That Touch of Mink with Doris Day and the stylish thriller Charade with Audrey Hepburn. He was considered a true screen icon and was ranked second after Humphrey Bogart on the American Film Institute's list of the 100 greatest film stars of all time in 1999. His last film, Walk, Don't Run, 1966, unintentionally became his final one due to his personal life taking center stage. He was going through a divorce and custody battle with his fourth wife, Deanne Cannon, which lasted until 1969 and consumed much of his attention. After successfully divorcing his fourth wife, Cary Grant went on to remarry, and unfortunately, it ended like the previous. He divorced his fifth wife. But the spotlight on his relationships never seemed to end there. Following the divorce, rumors suggested that he also had romantic relationships with men, including actor Randolph Scott and costume designer Ori Kelly. Like Rock Hudson and other major stars of the mid-20th century, Grant himself never publicly confirmed or denied his sexual orientation. However, he was somewhat more open about it compared to some other stars of his time. He confided in one of his ex-wives about his teenage experiences experimenting sexually with other boys, attributing it to typical British schoolboy behavior. During his early years in Hollywood, he lived with gay men and shared residences with fellow actor Randolph Scott, fueling speculation about a possible hidden romance between them. Grant also openly acknowledged that each of his ex-wives had accused him of being homosexual. To date, however, no one knows any man with whom Cary Grant got romantically involved. 2. Greta Garbo. Greta Garbo is an iconic Swedish actress from the golden age of Hollywood, known for her enigmatic persona both on and off the screen. She never married and was famously private about her personal life, fueling speculation about her romantic interests. Born on September 18, 1905 in Stockholm, Sweden, as Greta Lovisa Gustafsson, she had a humble upbringing in a poor area. Her father's death at 14 left the family struggling, forcing her to leave school and work in a department store. Despite an unremarkable start in life, few would have anticipated the remarkable career that awaited the Swedish actress Greta Garbo. She grew up confident and decided to pursue and earned a scholarship to the Royal Dramatic Theatre. During her acting studies, director Moritz Stiller, a leading filmmaker in Sweden during the early 20s, noticed her talent. That's where it all began for her. Starting her career in 1920, Greta Garbo starred in 28 significant roles, spanning silent and sound films. Renowned for her solemn demeanor and portrayal of tragic characters, she earned the nickname The Divine for her ethereal presence and avoidance of the press. Retiring at 35, she maintained a reclusive lifestyle, becoming one of Hollywood's most enigmatic figures. Throughout her career, she was MGM's highest-paid female actor. Now, here's where it gets interesting. While Greta Garbo was linked romantically with several men throughout her life, including her co-stars, there have also been persistent rumors and speculation about her relationships with women. Her most famous relationship was with actor John Gilbert, her frequent on-screen partner. Garbo revealed that Gilbert proposed to her multiple times. In her own words to an interviewer, "I was in love with him, but I froze. I was afraid he would tell me what to do and boss me. I always wanted to be the boss." However, some biographers and historians suggest that she had intimate relationships with women, but concrete evidence is scarce. Biographer Barry Paris characterized Garbo as technically bisexual, predominantly lesbian, and increasingly asexual over time. One of the most notable figures in Greta Garbo's life was Mercedes de Acosta, a writer and socialite known for her romantic relationships with women. There are accounts of a close and possibly romantic friendship between Garbo and De Acosta, but the true nature of their relationship remains a subject of debate. Among her known loves, Garbo shared a passionate affair with the enigmatic actor Louise Brooks in 1928, a relationship that added layers to her already intriguing persona. To solidify the suspicions of her being a lesbian, the release of 60 intimate letters from Greta Garbo to actor Mimi Pollack in 2005 offered a rare glimpse into their profound bond or love affair. Having attended drama school together, their friendship blossomed into something deeper, with Garbo's words echoing sentiments of a soulmate connection. "We cannot help our nature as God has created it, but I have always thought you and I belonged together." Despite the speculation, Greta Garbo never publicly addressed her sexuality, adding to the intrigue surrounding her personal life. Whether she was bisexual, lesbian, or simply fiercely independent and private, we may never know for sure. Despite the speculation, Greta Garbo never publicly addressed her sexuality, adding to the intrigue surrounding her personal life. Whether she was bisexual, lesbian, or simply fiercely independent and private, we may never know for sure. What is certain, however, is that Garbo lived life on her own terms, refusing to conform to Hollywood's expectations both professionally and personally. In an industry where publicity and persona often trumped privacy, Garbo remained an outlier, choosing seclusion over spectacle. Her decision to step away from the spotlight at the height of her fame only added to her mystique. She spent her later years in New York City, rarely seen and seldom interviewed, walking the streets anonymously despite being one of the most recognizable faces in cinematic history. Her legacy endures not only because of her talent and beauty, but also because she represented a defiance of norms. Greta Garbo didn't just create art, she became one. Jim Nabors, with his bumbling yet lovable persona, brought laughter to audiences during the early days of Hollywood. His iconic portrayal of characters such as Gomer Pyle endeared him to viewers and cemented his status as a beloved figure in American entertainment. Born on June 12, 1930, in Sylacauga, Alabama, in a very rural setting, Nabors initially desired to pursue a career in sports, but due to his health condition, he went ahead to launch into performing. He pursued a career in singing, showcasing his rich baritone voice in various performances. However, it was his foray into acting that catapulted him to stardom. Nabors made his mark on television screens across America with his memorable role as Gomer Pyle, first appearing on The Andy Griffith Show in 1962. As the good-natured but somewhat inept gas station attendant, Gomer Pyle quickly became a fan favorite, earning Nabors widespread acclaim for his comedic timing and affable charm. Nabors' popularity soared to new heights when he reprised his role as Gomer Pyle in the spin-off sitcom Gomer Pyle, USMC, which aired from 1964 to 1969. Set in a Marine Corps base, the show showcased Nabors' comedic talents as he navigated the challenges of military life with his trademark innocence and optimism. Audiences were captivated by Gomer's endearing quirks and unwavering loyalty, making the show a resounding success and solidifying Nabors' status as a comedic icon. While he never failed to bring joy and laughter to millions of viewers, Jim was grappling with his sexuality and being open about it. Jim Nabors was secretly homosexual, and although he wasn't ashamed about it, he didn't want to bring it up in public. Jim Nabors' knowledge of being gay wasn't a novel concept to him. In fact, he had always known that he wasn't straight since he was a little child. Despite the secrecy, Nabors had relationships with men, with his partners often discreetly supporting him at events and gatherings. However, These relationships remained largely clandestine, shielded from public scrutiny. Neighbors also faced his fair share of failed relationships and relationship scandals over the years, further complicating his personal life. During the 1970s, rumors swirled about Neighbors being involved in a hidden marriage with fellow actor Rock Hudson, although neither confirmed nor denied these speculations. Despite the tabloid frenzy surrounding his personal life, Neighbors continued to navigate his romantic relationships in private. It was during this period that Neighbors met Stan Cadwallader, with whom he would share a lasting and deeply meaningful relationship. The two began dating, embarking on a journey that would span an impressive 38 years. In 2015, when same-sex marriage was approved, Neighbors prepared to wed Cadwallader and made a pivotal decision to publicly come out as gay. This long-awaited moment marked a new chapter in his life, as he waited 82 years before he could get married, for the first time ever, to the one he loved and wanted, and not the one society dictated for him. For more thrilling stories like this, subscribe to this YouTube channel and be the first to know when a new story drops.